Hello everyone and welcome back to this Let's Play of Might and Magic VII. So in the last episode we created our awesome party consisting of Pixie, Aristides, I guess, Betsy and Lucky, and we went into the Dragon's Cave, like all the way in the beginning, oh hello, to pick up some gold and get some more starting money. And we now have found the Contestant's Shield, and if you remember we got the quest to find the missing contestants, and that's what we just have done. We found them dead, basically. So we're gonna return to Lord Markham right now after reading what Margaret has to say about wells. This well has a magical benefit. It bestows a powerful fire resistance spell on the drinker. To have a character drink from the well, just select the character you want to have a drink, and then click on the well. There are many wells like this one in the game. You can look in your footnotes or outer notes under Autonote's book under the Fountains tab for a list of all wells you've tried drinking from during the course of the game. The effects of this particular well last until you rest, but remember that different wells may have completely different effects. You might even die, so yeah, be careful. Let's go immediately to Lord Markham and say, "Tally-ho, my good sir, we have found your missing contestants and they're dead."
His Grace, Lord Markham.
There really is a dragon on the island? I thought everyone was referring to the dragonflies everywhere. I'll warn everyone to stay away from the cave so we don't lose anyone else. And we got 1,000 gold, so we're rich! At least we're rich enough to go and go to the shops. This shop is the armor shop. The armorer only sells helms, shields, and armor, which will buy nearly anything you can wear if you don't want to make a separate stop at the magic shop. Remember that a character needs skill in leather, chain, or plate armor to be able to wear that kind of armor, or shield skill to use a shield.
See anything you want?
Rotten hell, you penny mints and miser. You'll get that quote eventually. We're just gonna sell the armor that we don't need. We can waste money on buying helmets and low-quality gauntlets, but we're not gonna bother.
Thanks a lot.
Our first priority will be to go to the weapons shop. The shop you are near is the blacksmith shop. The blacksmith only sells weapons, but this one sells many different kinds of weapons, and some of them have magical properties. You can also sell weapons here, but you won't get a good deal until you have a higher merchant skill. To enter, just click on the front door.
Need a new weapon?
No, my good sir, but I want to learn some new weapon skills. I want to learn how to use a bow with practically everyone. And now we're poor, but bow skill is super useful. And we buy one crossbow here too. Because that means that we have... Oh, that means we actually have... Because technically, you're meant with this bow...
I don't know.
You are meant to deliver it as a longbow, because that's one of the quest items we're supposed to find. Return a longbow to the judge. And we will do that eventually. Just right now, I want Pixie to use it. Or, Pixie is not my best archer. That's actually Aristides. So, we're gonna give it to him instead. Because he has higher accuracy skill. He has the highest one of all, 20. So, which means he hits more often, so of course he needs to have the best bow. Let's take a look at the different skills here, or stats. Might is the statistic that represents a character's overall strength and the ability to put that strength where it counts. Characters with a high might statistic do more damage in combat. Intellect represents a character's ability to reason and understand complex, abstract concepts. A high intellect contributes to Sorcerer, Archer, Ranger, Thief, and Druid spell points. Personality represents both a character's strength of will and personal charm. Clerics, Paladins, Rangers, Monks, and Druids depend on personality for their spell points. Endurance is a measure of the physical toughness and durability of a character. A high endurance gives a character more hit points. Accuracy represents a character's precision and hand-eye coordination. A high accuracy will allow a character to hit monsters more frequently in combat. Speed is a measure of how quick a character is. A high speed statistic will increase a character's armor class and the rate with which the character recovers from attacks. Luck has a subtle influence throughout the game, but is most visible in the ability of a character to resist magical attacks and avoid taking as much damage from traps. So yeah, we're... Oh, damn it, shut up, Margaret. This building is Caroline Vedder's private residence. Caroline makes a living by brokering Magic Guild memberships to aspiring wizards and other spellcasters. She'll be happy to sell membership at the local air and fire guilds for a small fee. You don't have to buy membership in a guild if you don't want to, but remember that you must be a guild member to buy spells and learn skills at the magic guild. So technically, for every single, different magic there is, like, for example, for fire, you have to buy the fire guild membership in order to learn new spells. So there are actually a few spells here that I don't never bother learning. Like, for example, in the clerical realm, I never bother learning mind magic. I think mind magic is ridiculously useless. And for elemental spares or magics, I never learn earth magic unless I play with a druid when you're forced to. But earth magic will not be a priority in this playthrough, let me tell you, because I don't know any good spells in that realm of magic. The door to the west leads to the local tavern. The tavern is a safe place to sleep at night, and you can buy food so you can sleep outdoors. You can often meet interesting people in taverns or catch the local gossip if you're looking for something to do. To enter the tavern, just click on the front door.
Come in, come in.
You can learn some skills there. Seems like only perception, which is not so useful. Oh, shut up, Margaret. For once, just shut up. La la. This building is another private residence. Roger, the owner of the house, sells memberships in the Spirit and Body Magic guilds. The price is low, but you must pay if you intend to take advantage of the guild services. Including spell purchases and skill teaching. By the way, if you're getting tired of my messages, you can stop them by clicking on my portrait to talk to me, then clicking on the Tour Off topic. Well, I want to hear everything first, so shut up. We're gonna buy these eventually. It's just right now we can only afford 2 of them, since we only have 64 gold left. This door leads to the training center of Emerald Island. If you have enough experience points, which is gained from killing monsters and completing quests, you can come here to increase your character's levels. When you gain a level, you'll also get some skill points to spend on improving your skills. You can only spend skill points on skills that your character knows. To learn new skills, try visiting the businesses around town and see if they offer lessons in anything you're interested in. So I think when you level up, you get about, now in the beginning, you get like 5 or 6 skill points. And to then increase Betsy's Earth Magic, which is level 1, you have to spend 2 skill points to raise it to 2. And then you have to spend 3 to raise it to 3. And then 4 to raise it to 4, 5 to raise it to 5, and so on. Here we have Spirit, I guess, and Air, of course. We're not going to bother learning what she has to say about this. This is the Alchemist shop. We're probably going to bother with alchemy later. Here's the body magic, I guess. Here's that well that gives you luck permanently. We'll meet someone later in the game as well. It can raise it up to 15, as we did with 2 characters right now, and then there's 2 wells later in the game that will do the same. The last important building here is a fire magic guild.
Can I help you with anything?
Is the magic shop, where we can sell our useless rings that we started out with, and the slow spell that we suddenly got, or slow... Wow, we sell some expensive things here right now. The sapphire is really expensive. No use whatsoever,
Thanks.
but...
Come again.
Expensive. We have to eventually start looking for some NPCs. There's especially one NPC I'm looking for, which is the Scholar. They are by far the best NPC in the game, because they give you an automatic... Oh, shut up, Margaret. I'm about to turn you off right now. You know what? Whatever. Off. There doesn't seem to be a Scholar here right now, but Scholars give you an automatic Grand Mastery in identifying items. In other words, all of your characters can identify this bow, for an example, just by having an NPC hired. He will take a lot of or some money from you, but I think it's worth it, because then you don't have to work on the identification skill, which is really useful to have, but you know, you don't really want to spend that much time on, or skill points either, on something that you can get from for a small fee. There's now only like 2 parts of this town we haven't been to yet. By the way, there's a dungeon over here that we have to enter eventually in order to get... that's like the old abandoned Temple of the Moon that we were talking about earlier. Over here we have 3 friendly adventurers.
Greetings and salutations to you.
Brent Fillion, apparently. Hail and well met! I'm Brent Fillion, a contestant in Lord Markham's Scavenger hunt. The toughest band of contestants have apparently hid out in the Temple of the Moon. I think they might be wanting to ambush any group that tries to go there. I know how to make a blue potion, but not red ones. Just about any blue herb will do. Just mix it with an empty bottle and voila! Voila! An instant blue potion. I guess that making a red potion is familiar, but I'm not sure. They say mixing potions improperly can have really bad effects. He can offer you to trade a red potion, I think, for a hat. And of course, one of the things we have to find is a wealthy hat, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, a return a wealthy hat. But we can find one for free later, so we're not going to bother. But that's one of the 2 ways to get it. To make this dungeon or just make this first part of the game so much easier, the game has placed a pedestal here that gives you access to one of the most powerful spells ever, or at least in the beginning, it's super powerful. I remember when I was a kid, I thought like, oh, when I got this, you know, look at all of my hit points and spell points have just been drained. But what's happened is that they greatly increase your stats. So you don't really lose any hit points, the maximum goes way up, and if you then go to a healer and get healed up, you are so invincible in the beginning of the game. Well, invincible is a strong word, but you really are powerful right now.
Do you need healing? Go in peace.
Yeah, this is the healer, by the way. The healer will heal you up for a small fee, and it's super handy. Like, they are really, really, really handy. As you might see now on the minimap, there is some red dots over here. Those are fireflies that Lord Markham was talking about earlier. Like, he assumed that everyone was talking about them when they talked about a dragon. Now that we have the Day of the Gods thing, they're actually pretty easy. As you might notice, I don't like playing in... I like playing in real time and not turn-based. Turn-based just confuses me. I seriously don't like turn-based. It just messes up my mojo. So I just like to do real or like... What do you call it? Non-turn-based instead. All monsters in the game come in 3 categories. You have like the weakest, which in this example is a dragonfly. It's the weakest member of its group. Here we have a fire dragonfly, the second strongest, or the medium one. It can shoot fire that we just see now, but still is a pushover. And the last one, which we don't always face here, is the queen dragonfly, or dragonfly queen, who has quite a bit of hit points and can, well, mess up a weak party for sure.
Weakling.
Right now you see the power of the bows. You can basically kite down anything. But since this is like an open, real world...
No match for me! Ow.
No match for artifices, as the dice is.
Got it.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Just a scratch.
This is the power of Day of the Gods. It's super powerful right now in the beginning. It makes everything so much easier, including the dragonflies. You can just one-hit them. When I was young, I used to lure them into town, because as this is like a living world sort of thing,
no match for me.
All peasants, for example, in town can easily be killed by all of these dragonflies.
Yeah. Ow.
Ow!
So I remember, like, when I was young and I was out of money in this game, I would go around luring monsters into town so they would kill the peasants and I can loot the peasants. Some hero. Some hero. But, whatever. We're pretty rich right now. We don't actually have to go to this place with all the dragonflies in it. I guess most people would actually look upon it as kind of...
That was too easy.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Like, as not too difficult, but a bit of a time waster. But since we're gonna kill the dragon, as I told you earlier, the one that we just ran into, like, in the last episode, it doesn't really matter. Here's another, like, 4 treasure chests in an abandoned house. We find another item here. If you remember, we looked at a girl outside of the dragon's cave named Sally. She can Sally sells shells by the seashore. She really does. But you can also find one for free here, so that's why I didn't buy anything. Let's see here, poison spray we can sell. A long dagger is probably better than this dagger, yeah. The long dagger combines the extra reach of the sword with the stealth of the dagger. Clever.
I don't know.
Oh, and then we have some... Oh yeah, I forgot. This is what we got from the dragon's cave. Gotta identify that and sell it if we want to. Everything in these chests are already identified, so you don't have to worry about that. We find our first helm here, which is pretty cool. This cheap helm is better suited for a costume party than a battle. The horns have been glued onto a rigid leather cap dyed black to make it look scarier. The material is brittle and flaky and will probably come apart at just the wrong time. But it gives us 2 more in defense. It looks absolutely stupid, but we're gonna give it to the person here with the least defense, which is Aristides. Aristides. I really wonder where that name comes from. So he looks even more stupid right now. Some crotch too. It's like he has a painted on tights. They like the skimpy outfits here, I guess. This girl almost has camel toe too. But whatever. Here's the seashell. Seashells this large are only found on the beaches of Emerald Island. One of these might make a nice souvenir of your time here. A wooden buckler again, a magic potion, and a... Oh yeah, by the way, the potions, they do different things. Red potions cure hit points, and blue potions cure mana points or magic points, while other colors do different stuff. Usually something related to... status curing, or curing status effects like poison and disease and curse and so on. And some have uses other than that too, but we'll get to that later.
A perfect mix. Wonderful.
A
perfect mix.
There we go. The last chest in this abandoned house thing always contains a bunch of ingredients to make red potions, and usually, some of them are pretty good too, to like give you a helping hand right now in the beginning. Right around this corner, there's a secret chest. I'm not sure if it's booby-trapped or not, we'll figure that out. Nope, it's not. Where you find a much better helm than the other helm we found. This simple style and uniformity of these helms is meant to strike terror into the hearts of enemies when they see row upon row of bronze spiked helms marching towards them. This is actually a pretty good item this early, because it gives so much defense. And I'll give it now to Archimedes, and then Lucky will get the horned helmet, I guess. To make him look even more stupid. Yeah, stupid. La 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 la. I know I'm a good singer. Sorry. Normally when I play this game, I try to finish everything on Emerald Island within 6 p.m. And now right now you see it's 2 p.m. The reason why I want to finish it before 6 p.m. is because then you can leave this island by boat. And the boat closes at 6 p.m. Most stores close in this game at 6 p.m. So, but since we're going to kill the dragon, it's going to be a bit more difficult to reach it in that, or to make it in that time. Since we're already on such a roll, we're gonna enter now the Temple of the Moon, where we're gonna find a bunch of new items that we need, and also encounter a new adventuring party. We heard Brent Valiant, or whatever his name was, the one on the outside here, who wanted to trade a potion for a hat. He talked about them, saying that they were waiting to prey upon other adventuring troops. So we'll see how that goes. But the dripping of water and a strange, unidentifiable squeaking are the only noises that seem to come from the entrance of this cave. That's promising.
Can't we pick a better place to die?
That's my girl, Pixie. So right now you see that's kind of dark. Luckily we have something called Torchlight, which is like the only fire spell I almost ever use. I need to learn to use spells more in this game. That'll probably make me much more better.
Got it!
Got it! A lot of money and a
I don't know.
pitchfork. But yeah, we forgot to hire a scholar that can identify for us, so we're not going to be able to identify anything in here. But that doesn't really matter much. Because we're doing...
That was too easy.
It's pretty easy right now, considering because we're running around here with the Day of the Gods.
I don't know.
So we won't have any problems in here, and I don't think we'll have any problems with the more difficult monsters in here too. Because right now we're meeting the RPG staple rats, which of course are not super dangerous. Here we have a giant room filled with spiders. That can be difficult if there's a lot of higher level spiders here, but as long as you just go back and kite them, then they won't really pose that much of a problem. Oh, they were clever, like a pincer move.
Got him.
A Widowmaker. These spiders are actually super rare enemies. They're like, you almost never face them, ever. So you gotta enjoy them while they last. Oh, listen to that calm and nice music in the background. Yeah, when things are marked red like this, it just means it's a point of interest. That skill we could have learned from the bartender earlier, the perception skill, makes you notice areas like that much more easily. But I think I know all of them by now, so I didn't really bother picking up perception. Did not bother
No
about
match
it.
for me.
Got it.
Got it.
Got him.
So, like, without Day of the Gods, we would have struggled much more in here. But with Day of the Gods, we have a much easier time hitting the monsters in here. And we have bows on everyone too, which is also making our trip in here so much easier.
Ow!
Ow! Now that hurts! You'll hear a lot of funny talking here in this game from our characters, especially the two first ones.
No match for me.
Exactly. No match for you and your
No
great...
match for me.
Yeah, shut up already.
Got it.
Well, like, don't you especially love it that a paladin is like going into like a temple dedicated to evil, and she moans out, "Couldn't
match
we
for
pick
me."
a better place to die?" I mean, that's some paladin. I love
Is that
it.
supposed to hurt?
Aristides, or whatever his name is, I still can't remember his name. Aristides. I gotta remember, or figure out how to pronounce it correctly. He moans or talks quite a lot right now. So let's see here. Ooh, a library. And uh-oh, hello. Who are you? You'd better watch out. Boy, don't mess with me. Here in the... This is, for me, it will always be known as the utility spell library, because you find a lot of spell scrolls, and they are all Fire, Torchlight, and Wizard Eye. The thing is, when you cast magic from scrolls, they're cast at a higher level than normal. They call it an expert level, I think, which means that Wizard Eye will be updated, that you can also see items here on the minimap. So it's really handy. Of course, we see here a wall that we can open. That leads to a secret little room.
Ow!
With more library books, where you usually find some scrolls in a book somewhere. There you go. We found fire resistance, useless firebolt, useless poison spray, gonna sell it. Torchlights that we already know, so there's no point in picking that up. But there's also a floor tile with moon insignia on it, which is of course one of the things we have to look for in the scavenger hunt. I'm pretty sure now that the only thing we're actually... Or we're missing two things. An instrument and what you call it, a wealthy hat. And we had the possibility of getting a wealthy hat earlier, but let's see if there's another chance. Because there's another room here we haven't been to. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello there, friend. May I have a word with you? It's Sal Sharktooth. This temple is a pretty nasty place. You should probably watch your back around here. You never know what might want to kill you. Whatever, I see some treasure chests, we're just gonna loot them. There we have a new potion again. This one cures poison. Yeah, purple poison, you know?
Hey, what's that?
Hey, I don't know. Our first gemstone, a blue quartz, which is like the cheapest gemstone there is. A gemstone. It has no magical benefits, so you might as well sell it.
I don't know.
It's just
hey,
there
I don't know.
for being sold.
I don't know.
A grey potion is good when you are a druid and you can mix potions. I know Betsy is a druid, but she doesn't know how to mix potions yet. But the potion that you mix with this grey potion will take the strength of the grey potion, which can be really, really handy, actually.
I don't know. There's no room left.
Oh, we already full up. Okay, but here we have a wealthy hat. This hat appears to belong to a more affluent member of society. The feather is genuine and the construction is solid. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to fit. Whatever. Lucky would have looked awesome in that. Some money. I wonder who owns this. Are we stealing Sal Sharktooth's things? I don't know.
I don't know. There's no room left.
No room left. But now when we talk to Sal
Greetings
Sharktooth...
to you.
Greetings to you! Hello again, friend. And he suddenly asks us for our hat. I see you have a fine hat there. How about a deal? You give me your hat, and we will let you keep your lives. How about no? We're gonna keep the hat. You should have accepted my offer. And boom, all of a sudden they're unfriendly. And we have to defend ourselves. And these guys can be really difficult, so you have to be careful. Okay, never mind. This is one thing that you can do in this game, is to abuse the surroundings to help you. Like, right now, you know, this swordsman gets stuck behind the bed. That's very, very common, that they get stuck behind things like that.
Ask someone else.
Something I forgot is that you can loot also a longbow from Sal Sharktooth if you kill him, which is another, you know, of course, an item that we needed to complete the scavenger hunt, but Aristides already uses the one we found on the dragon, in the Dragon's Lair. Because you have to find the longbow in the Dragon's Lair. It's like one of the 2 places where you can get the longbow. Oh, hello. I totally forgot about you. But no problem. So now we killed also the band of marauding adventurers. We won't get a reward for that, but it just feels so good. You don't have to kill them, but yeah, it feels good, because they've apparently been preying on other adventurers. So right now we cleared out the Temple of the Moon here in Emerald Island. There's nothing else here to find, and we have everything in our scavenger hunt except for one item. Let's see here. Return a red potion. We have many red potions. Return a seashell. We have many, or one seashell. Return a longbow. We have 2 longbows. Return a floor tile. We have a floor tile. Return a musical instrument. We don't have that. Return a wealthy hat. We have that. So we miss an instrument, which we're gonna fix in the next episode. And in the next episode, we're also gonna clear out the dragon. Like, kill the dragon. We're just gonna first go and heal up, so I will remember to... Or actually, we're gonna first of all take a look at all of the peasants around here. Just in case there's a scholar here somewhere.
Do you need healing?
No, yes I do. You can donate to temples like this. Like when you click donate, and she just cast Wizard Eye at expert level. So you know, like, we can see more now. So usually donation is actually a good thing. It's not just a waste of money. It actually raises your reputation a bit, and it also increases your... it gives you usually a spell, usually. And usually also a good spell, or like a handy one. Gypsy, Tinker, Smith... Wait, what's his name? Eva, the Smith. Cool. Peasant, Mr. Malvik, peasants. The teacher is good, but it's not what I want. I want an instructor, and I want a scholar. That's like the perfect mix, but there is nobody here right now, so we're just gonna save, and I'll be back in next episode where we will kill a dragon, which will take a while. I might even make a fool of myself and die trying, so... Look forward to that, and we will also return everything we have to Lord Markham and finally win this contest once we get an instrument. I've been a Biting Gamer, thank you for joining me, see you next time!